This is Allah's punishment. I must have done something wrong. What should I do now? Show me a righteous path. I want to repent. Is there anyone who is a pious servant of Allah? Someone for the sake of Allah, help me. Is there any pious servant of Allah here?
Why did mice come out of that woman's mouth? What sin did she commit at the shrine? What was that mistake because of which such a great punishment came upon her? Surely she must have done something wrong. Stay with us to know the complete story, and with the intention of earning reward, consider this video as a continuing charity and be sure to share it with your dear friends. And don't forget to like the video. When the first rays of morning knocked on Maryam's home, she was already standing in front of the mirror. Her father, Mr. Ahmed, had just returned from the mosque after Fajr prayer. Her mother, Fatima, was busy making tea. This was Maryam's simple and peaceful household. But today, just like every other day, Maryam's attention was on only one thing: her face. There was a strange calmness in the way she gazed at her own reflection. Was she really as beautiful as everyone said? Her beauty was praised throughout the city. But today, she let a smile spread across her lips in the mirror. This was the beginning of the first test of her life, the first brick of pride in her beauty. Every Thursday, Maryam came to the shrine. She distributed charity in the name of Allah. People would pray for her, admiring her generosity. But was this really worship? Her heart desired something else. When an elder would say, "May Allah reward you, my daughter," Maryam's face showed satisfaction. But when a young man would say, "You are very beautiful," a different sparkle would appear in her eyes. One day an elder advised her, "Daughter, worship is not for show. It comes from the heart." But his words didn't affect Maryam at all. Her show-off continued, and the wall of pride kept rising higher. During dinner, her mother Fatima's voice echoed, "Daughter, you're getting older. Think about marriage." Maryam frowned. "Mom, I'm not in any hurry." Her father, Mr. Ahmed, silently observed. There was worry in his eyes, deep and quiet worry. He knew that beauty could become a test. Her mother insisted again, "Good proposals come. Think about it." Maryam quickly replied, "I won't marry some ordinary boy." Her father softly said, "Daughter, be wise." But Maryam wasn't listening. That night, prayers were heard from her parents' room. "Oh Allah, guide our daughter." But destiny had something else planned. One day there was a knock at the door. A woman was standing outside. Her name was Sana. She brought a storm into Maryam's life. "I am your new neighbor." Sana's voice was sweet, but her eyes were cunning. Maryam invited her inside. A wicked presence entered their home. Sana glanced around the house with a filthy gaze. Then she smiled and said, "You are like a piece of the moon." Maryam felt delighted. She had received another compliment. Sana continued, "With such beauty, why do you just stay at home?" That question sank deep into Maryam's heart. Was she really missing something? Sana began telling stories about the world outside. "Enjoy life. Beauty doesn't last forever." Maryam's heart grew restless. Sana softly said, "You should go to the big city." Maryam hesitated. "My father won't allow me." Sana smiled. "Don't worry. I'll handle everything." Then she formed a secret plan. Use the shrine visit on Thursday as an excuse. Maryam's heart started to race. Would she really deceive her parents? Sana placed her hand over Maryam's. "A bigger life is waiting for you." And Maryam nodded yes. Her pride had blinded her wisdom. Thursday arrived. Maryam applied her best makeup. She wore beautiful clothes and looked at herself in the mirror. Was she really going to a hotel? A strange nervousness fluttered in her heart. Outside, Sana honked the car horn. Maryam looked at herself in the mirror one last time. Sana's voice echoed, "You are the most beautiful girl in the world." Those words sank into her heart. She was deceiving her parents, but she didn't even realize it. She prepared her excuse for the shrine. "Mom, Dad, I'm going to the shrine to give an offering." Her mother prayed, "May Allah protect you." And Maryam stepped outside. The first step toward the wrong path. The car stopped in front of a grand hotel. Maryam's eyes sparkled. This was the world she had always dreamed about. Sana said, "See, all of this is meant for you." The hotel lobby was luxurious. Shining lights, expensive furniture. Maryam looked around in amazement. She whispered, "This feels like heaven." Sana smiled. "For a moon-like beauty such as you, of course." Just then, a man dressed in a fancy suit approached. He was a businessman, the one Sana had called. The biggest test of Maryam's life was about to begin, and she thought it was a dream. The businessman looked at Maryam and showered her with praises. "You are truly like the moon." Maryam blushed. Compliments brought joy to her heart. The businessman said, "Beauty like yours does not grow in ordinary homes." Sana added, "I always told her that." Maryam remained silent, but there was a sparkle in her eyes. The businessman handed her his card. "Stay in contact with me." Maryam took the card, her hands trembling. A voice inside her screamed, "What are you doing here?" But her thirst for praise silenced that voice, and she continued walking further down the wrong path. The ride back from the hotel was silent. Maryam's mind echoed with the businessman's words, "You deserve only a magnificent life." Sana smiled. "See how much he liked you." Maryam held the businessman's card in her hand. She wondered what she would tell her parents. Her heart was racing. Was she feeling regret? No. Her heart only thirsted for more praise. She tucked the card into her purse, like a secret. Sana gave her final advice. "Don't tell anyone anything." And the car stopped outside Maryam's house. The first chapter of her test was complete. When the door opened, her parents looked uneasy. "Daughter, what happened? Why did it take so long?" Maryam lied. "The neighbor's son was very sick." Her mother immediately raised her hands in prayer. "May Allah grant him healing." Her father's eyes showed doubt. "There's something hidden in your eyes." Maryam averted her gaze. "No, Dad, I'm just tired." She quickly went to her room and stood in front of the mirror. She muttered to herself, "Yes, I really am special." Her father said to her mother, "I have a suspicion, Fatima." Tears welled up in her mother's eyes. An air of doubt began to spread through the house. The next day, the parents made a decision. It was necessary to get their daughter married. Her mother said, "Her beauty might become a trial for her if we delay." Overnight, proposals were sought. Responses came from everywhere. "We are poor. Your daughter is beyond our reach." Finally, a match was found. An honest clerk. A boy from a humble family, but simple and upright. The moment Maryam heard, she refused. "I will not marry a poor man." But her parents were determined. The elders of the family were called. Everyone advised, "Get the marriage done quickly." Maryam's uncle said, "Beauty does not last forever." And all eyes were fixed on Maryam. Maryam screamed, "I will not marry!" Her father said sternly, "Your will doesn't matter." And so it was decided. The marriage would be forced. Preparations for the wedding began at home. Maryam completely boycotted everything. No makeup, no fancy clothes. "They are forcing me to marry," she kept crying. Her mother tried to console her. "Daughter, this is for your own good." The bridal dress arrived, but Maryam didn't even touch it. Anger burned in her eyes, rebellion in her heart, and silence on her lips. In the final scene, Maryam packed her belongings. She hid the businessman's card carefully, and she made a decision. This marriage would not be the end of her life. It would be the beginning of a new rebellion. The door of the new house opened. Mother-in-law Zainab welcomed her. "Come, daughter. A moon has descended into the house." Maryam glanced around. A small courtyard, old furniture. A sarcastic smile appeared on her lips. "Even the moon looks dull here." Everyone was taken aback. Her husband Hamza remained silent. Mother-in-law Zainab's smile vanished. The atmosphere grew heavy. Maryam brought in her belongings. Every move she made was full of hatred. This house, in her eyes, was a prison, and these people were her prisoners. That night, Maryam looked at Hamza in the room. She spoke with contempt. "You are a poor clerk." Hamza said gently, "I will try to make you happy." Maryam laughed aloud. "You will make me happy?" And on the very first night, the foundation of destruction was laid. In the morning, mother-in-law Zainab prepared breakfast. She called Maryam. "Daughter, come eat." Maryam glanced at the food and said, "What is this?" Zainab replied, "I made parathas for you, dear." Maryam stared and said, "I don't eat this kind of food." Zainab's face fell. Hamza said, "Mother made it with effort." Maryam angrily said, "You are all teaming up to trouble me." She got up and left. The food remained untouched on the table. Tears welled up in Zainab's eyes. Hamza tried to console his mother. "Mother, time will fix everything." But her heart was already broken. Maryam went to her room, picked up the phone, called Sana, and a new chain of conspiracies began. One day, the sound of a car came down the street. Sana had come to meet Maryam. Mother-in-law Zainab opened the door. "Who are you?" Sana replied cleverly, "I am Maryam's sister." Maryam came outside and was happy. "How did you come?" Sana gave a secret signal. "I've brought a message for you." The two went into a room alone. Zainab grew suspicious. Sana told Maryam, "The businessman misses you a lot." She handed her an expensive watch. "This is a gift for you." A sparkle appeared in Maryam's eyes. Sana said, "You have to run away from here." Maryam nodded. "I am ready." Just then, the door opened. Mother-in-law saw them, and the secret meeting was about to be exposed. At dinner, mother-in-law Zainab said, "Daughter, you make the food today." Maryam pouted, "I've never cooked before." Zainab patiently replied, "I will teach you." Maryam mocked, "Was I a maid?" Hamza gently said, "Help your mother." Maryam angrily said, "You are all trying to turn me into a maid." She began shouting, "I cannot live in such a house." Tears welled up in Zainab's eyes. "We considered you our daughter." Maryam didn't care. She got up and left, slamming the door of her room shut. Silence filled the house. The funeral of happiness had taken place. From morning till evening, Maryam stayed busy with her makeup. Mother-in-law asked, "Daughter, why do you wear makeup at home?" Maryam mocked, "Maybe you don't know. Women like to beautify themselves." Hamza said, "Don't hurt mother's feelings." Maryam sneered, "Your mother gets offended by everything." She would stand in front of the mirror, muttering to herself, "I don't belong in this poor house." She planned her escape. Mother-in-law Zainab cried every day, complaining to her son, "What have you brought home? She has brought fire into the house." Hamza advised patience, but even his patience was wearing thin, and Maryam was rapidly moving toward her own destruction. Hamza received his salary. Maryam took all the money. "I need jewelry. I need new clothes." Hamza said, "We need money for household expenses." Maryam threatened, "If I don't get the jewelry, I will go back to my parents' house." Reluctantly, Hamza agreed. Maryam bought the most expensive jewelry she could find. The household expenses were running with difficulty. When mother-in-law found out, she burst into tears. "All the savings of my life are ruined." Hamza remained silent, unable to understand. Is this what married life is supposed to be? Maryam didn't care. She was lost in Sana's promises, dreaming of the businessman. She hid the jewelry and her belongings. Preparations for her escape were almost complete. The neighbors asked, "How is your daughter-in-law?" Mother-in-law Zainab replied, "May Allah give everyone a good daughter-in-law." But Maryam mocked, "My mother-in-law complains about everything." The neighbors were surprised. Maryam lied, "She doesn't even give me food. She's always scolding me." Tears welled up in Zainab's eyes. When Hamza heard this, he became angry. "You have humiliated my mother." Maryam said, "You are afraid of the truth," and she got up and left. The family gathered together, all discussing Maryam's behavior. Her uncle said, "Women like her destroy homes." Hamza's embarrassment reached its peak. At night, Hamza stopped Maryam. "Maryam, I'm telling you for the last time, change your behavior." Maryam mocked, "You want to change me? I will remain exactly as I am." Hamza said, "I can divorce you." Maryam replied, "I don't care about your divorce. What difference will it make to me?" Tears welled up in Hamza's eyes. "I loved you with all my heart." But Maryam's heart had turned to stone. She was dreaming of running away, and Hamza's voice didn't even reach her ears. In her world now, there was only Sana and the businessman. Maryam called Sana. "I am dying in this prison." Sana said, "You have to run away. The businessman is waiting for you." Maryam asked, "How do I escape?" Sana instructed, "Use the shrine visit on Thursday as an excuse. I will prepare your belongings." Maryam nodded. "All right. I am ready." She packed her things, jewelry, clothes, money. Everything was ready. Tomorrow would be the last day of her life in this poor house. She would use the shrine visit as an excuse and never return. But she didn't know. Destiny had something else in store. One day, a year after the marriage, father-in-law Abdullah fell ill. The whole family was worried. Maryam happened to sit by his side to help him. The sick old man opened his eyes. He held Maryam's hand without saying a word, just looked at her. There was no scolding in his gaze, no sadness. There was only deep love and regret. That look shook Maryam's heart. For the first time, she felt it. Perhaps these people weren't bad. Perhaps she herself was wrong. But that thought lasted only for a moment. Then Sana's promises flooded her mind, and she once again lost herself in her dreams. The night before her escape, Maryam could not sleep. She looked out of the window. It was a moonlit night. The street was silent. Sana's voice echoed in her mind. "Your life will change." Then Hamza's voice came to her memory. "I love you with all my heart." For a moment she hesitated. Then she checked her belongings. The plane ticket, jewelry, money. Everything was in order. She had made up her mind. Tomorrow, she would be free. This poor house was not worthy of her. She would live a magnificent life, but she had no idea what destruction she was heading toward. Morning arrived. Maryam applied her best makeup. She quietly picked up her belongings. Hamza asked, "Where are you going?" Maryam lied, "I'm going to the shrine to offer a donation." Hamza said, "I'll come and drop you." Maryam panicked, "No, you go to work. I'll go by myself." Hamza felt suspicious, but he left. Maryam took a deep breath. The path was clear now. Mother-in-law Zainab said, "Come back quickly." Maryam gave a false smile. "Yes, mother." She looked at the house one last time, then stepped outside. Destiny had already decided. The final chapter of her trial was about to begin, and Maryam was choosing it herself. She reached the shrine and began distributing offerings, but her eyes kept glancing at the clock. Sana had said to be at the hotel by 11. It was only 10, so Maryam hurried. "May Allah forgive me," she whispered, as she moved forward. With a wicked intention, she went to a saint's tomb. She raised her hands, but deceit was in her prayer. "Oh, friend of Allah, if I succeed, I will distribute offerings here every Thursday." She had barely spoken when suddenly she fell ill. A foul-smelling saliva came from her mouth, followed by vomiting. With each vomit, mice emerged. People gathered around, all stunned in shock. Maryam was screaming, "Save me! Save me!" But the mice kept coming out. People stepped back. No one came near. "What is happening? Someone has been bewitched. No, this is a punishment." Seeing Maryam's condition, everyone's hair stood on end. This was Allah's punishment descending upon her. The elders of the shrine came and saw what had happened. One of them called out, "Daughter, I warned you. You did not listen to me." Maryam folded her hands. "Please forgive me. I have made a very big mistake." The elder said, "Ask forgiveness from Allah. Only He can forgive you." Hamza ran over, with mother-in-law Zainab behind him. Father-in-law Abdullah and all the parents arrived. Someone had informed them. When Hamza saw her, he screamed, "Maryam, what has happened to you?" Zainab raised her hands. "May Allah forgive my daughter-in-law." Father-in-law said, "We are all at fault." Maryam held Hamza's feet. "Please forgive me. I have been very bad." Tears flowed from Hamza's eyes. Mother Fatima fainted. Father Ahmed was trembling. The whole family had gathered, and Maryam was sobbing uncontrollably. Maryam sincerely repented. "Oh Allah, forgive me. From today onwards I will never commit a sin again. Protect me. Guide me." As soon as she spoke, the mice stopped coming out. Maryam's condition improved, and everyone thanked Allah. The elder said, "Allah has accepted your repentance. Now straighten out your life." Maryam promised, "I will change my life." Hamza held her hand. "Everything will be all right." Mother-in-law hugged her. "Daughter, we all make mistakes." Father-in-law prayed, "May Allah guide you." The journey back home was completely silent. Maryam felt ashamed. As soon as she reached home, she performed ablution. She prayed, and for the first time, she bowed in prostration with a sincere heart. "O Allah, guide me." After prayer, she kissed her mother-in-law's hands. "Mother, please forgive me." Zainab hugged her. "Daughter, forget everything." Maryam took out all her jewelry and placed it in front of Hamza. "All of this is yours. I wasted your money." Hamza said, "Keep it." Maryam refused. "No, these were my trials. Now I seek not jewelry but Allah's pleasure." Everyone was astonished. Maryam had truly changed.